Another element that relates to emotions are the forces that shape emotion. We're going to look at two elements. We're going to look at personality and we're going to look at gender. So personality looks at three different components. It looks at extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism. Extroversion is the degree to which you're outgoing and you're communicative with other people. And people that have higher extroversion, people have a tendency to be more happy. So the idea is that you're kind of focusing more on the positive rather than the negative. So that can have an influence on how you're experiencing emotions. Agreeableness is the trust. People feel happier in general. They manage their stress better. And then the idea of neuroticism is the negative thoughts that a person thinks about themselves. So if a person thinks about themselves in a really negative way, then they're going to be considered more neurotic. If that's the way you view yourself, then that's going to make it more of a challenge. So one of the things that they discuss is this idea of rational emotive behavior therapy. And the first step in that is to define the situation. So let's take a look at the situation and the circumstances, and we want to identify the irrational belief. So one element that we can look at is we can ask ourselves if that idea is really true. Is this a fact, or is this something that I'm reading into the situation? Because a lot of times in the absence of information, we will make stuff up. So that oftentimes our beliefs aren't based on something that is clear. Our belief is based on something that we have made up based on previous experiences, and it may not be based in fact. So that might be a good place to start. What are the consequences of this behavior? Is this one that's working for you? Sometimes people get themselves so worked up it raises their blood pressure. If it's raising your blood pressure and you don't have a good heart, or blood pressure is an issue for you, maybe this isn't a good thing for you to do. Maybe you need to make a different decision. Another piece would be to challenge those beliefs. Again, is this real? Am I making this up? How true is this? And let's see if we can go back and define accurate beliefs. See if you can figure out what's true and what's accurate. Most of the time, if we take the emotion out of it, it's going to shift the way that we may be perceiving this particular element. So definitely creating a different experience. Now, in terms of gender, two interesting elements that kind of go along with this. We have a tendency to think about males and females as being really, really different. And they mention in the article where they've done research to see how males and females experience it, and there isn't really a difference in intensity. Women have a tendency to feel more sadness, fear, shame, and guilt, and males report feeling more anger and hostility. So I think that might be what people might anticipate, but the intensity of the feelings isn't really different. So when we look at these particular components of personality and gender, it's more about having an understanding of it, and understanding and maybe not placing a lot of judgment on emotion, and just knowing that people are experiencing them the way that they experience them. Thank you.